Ashe Gems. Welcome to the Empress Empire podcast. I am your host with the most, the Sacred Empress or Ashanti, and today I am welcoming in a new guest. Hello. Feel free to
Hello,
introduce
hello.
yourself.
Hello, I am Lysz Flow. That is my pen name, but I use it basically for everything across the board. Owner of Astro Lizasix, which is my crystal shop. Probably gonna change that name because it's complicated, but to be continued. Um, Afro-Caribbean, multi-passionate person, and I also have my own podcast, Creatively Exposed.
I love that. Thank you so much. What a great introduction for yourself. As far as your crystal shop name, I love it. Is
Thank
it
you.
Astrolithicist? Is that how you said that?
Astrolizasix. So what it is, like
Astrolithicist.
the purpose of it, it has my name in it. And so it came through an idea of like trying to manifest a little bit something more. So I'm gonna play with the name, but
I love it.
some
It's
people be
very unique.
struggling.
It's
So I'm
very
just
unique
like,
though. I think that's what gets people's attention is those, unique names. Because if it was just something regular like Crystal Shop or Liz's Crystal
yeah,
Store, it's like
it's so
you add
boring.
your own little twist to it. And I like that. And I think that's what, people usually gravitate more towards. So I'm an advocate for keeping it. But, as a
We'll think
business
about
owner,
it.
I understand wanting to, make necessary changes business wise. So I get it. It's got a nice ring to it. When you said it, I was like, ooh, I'm like, okay. I'm excited. um, but tell me more about your shop. How are you, going about that? Are you selling, crystals? Are you selling different herbs? Like what are you selling?
So it's basically I call it a spiritual wellness
Mm-hmm.
boutique or shop. It's like mostly crystals, but I definitely have incense, um, sage herbs also. Like it's not only sage, it's just different smudging herbs. And usually whatever I curate. So like it's when I see something like I like this for the shop, I have some tarot decks as well from small creators, not small creators, but like black and brown creators
Okay.
or indie creators. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the majority of it. And so
Yeah. I
it's
actually
a
have
couple
some decks
of different
myself. So
things.
if you ever want to
I'm
add them to
staring
your
at
shop.
my uh I have too many decks. I usually
Yeah.
am like, oh, I like this deck. Let me add it to the shop and
Mm-hmm.
one for mine. So,
Yeah.
it looks
Yeah.
like a bookshelf.
I have mine in like a little wood. I don't even know what to call it. But
Mm,
I guess we'll say a basket for
like a
now.
chest.
Yeah, I just put them in
Mm.
there, but it's overflowing. So I got some right here on my bookcase because I have a lot of decks. I just got so many that I
Yeah,
don't even have a container to put them all
it's an
in. It's like I
addiction.
got some over here, got some over there. Keep some in my purse. Well, one usually. I'll usually just put
Yeah,
one
you
deck in
always
my
need your
purse
like to
because
go
you never
deck.
know. You never know. I could be in the middle of in the grocery store. I'm like, Spirit, should I be spending?
Right?
Should I
You
be
got
spending this money?
questions. I agree.
That cute guy over there, should I holler at him? So it's one of those
Mhm.
things you never know when you're
Mhm.
gonna need your decks. But I love that. For those listening, check out the shop. I'm gonna check it out myself just because I love supporting. I just love supporting, honestly. It's one of my biggest things. It's a big part of why, I've,
Likewise.
cultivated this space for people within the podcast because you never know. People got stories to tell, people got
Mhm.
information to give. So
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
appreciate you for inquiring and
Absolutely. wanting
wanting to be a part of this.
And
It
likewise.
always
Thank
makes
you
me
for
feel
having
good to
me.
know I got people that see what I'm doing and want to
Yes.
contribute. So I love that.
Absolutely.
But so yeah, we are talking about crystal healing today. So
Let's
what made you
talk
get
about it.
into crystals? So was this like a because I know
Mm.
for me, I didn't know much about crystals until my spiritual journey. So it wasn't something that I knew much about prior.
Mm.
Once I got
Mhm.
into my spiritual journey, I learned a little bit about them time after time.
Mhm.
Started to get real in depth with them. Had crystals. I got crystals everywhere. But what was it for you? Was it, your journey, or did you know a little bit more about them prior?
I it was my thing everywhere I went, like I would say early 20s. It's been a little bit over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So early 20s, it's like, oh, let's check out this crystal shop. And so any city that I went with my friends, I'm like, we gotta check the crystal shop there. And most of the places, no one looked like us at the crystal shop. So I was like, okay, we're the only weirdos. Okay. And then little by little, I'm like, okay, this is my collection, creating a small, tiny collection. And then once my spiritual journey hit, was when it's like, all right, bury me in crystals. Like, I
Yeah,
want small ones, big ones, all of
all
them.
of them.
And
Yeah.
um and eventually I was like, I want to be the crystal lady. Like,
Hmm.
this lady is literally living her life as a crystal lady, and I'm just like, why not me?
Hmm.
And between spiritual journey and spirit also kind of taking me out of places that I had no business being in, I was like, okay, let's give this a try. And
Hmm.
so it's been 2 years and I'm still here
Yeah,
standing
I
with
love
the
that.
crystal shop and surrounded by lots and lots of crystals.
Yeah, that's so dope. I love that. And see, I love how you mentioned um it was like something that you kind of see all the time because that's how it was with tarot and me. Like I would
Mm,
see tarot everywhere. And it wasn't
mm,
until I started writing a book because I had wrote a book, finished that book, and then I was doing like a sequel
mhm.
about like, years after they're having kids, all that stuff. And one of the main characters was reading tarot. And I was like, well, I don't know much about tarot.
So
So,
let's
and I was
research.
already spiritual at the time. So it's just
Mhm.
kind of like, okay, well, girl, you're gonna get your own deck. You're gonna have to
Yes,
get your
for
own deck.
sure.
But I would like read up on, different card meetings, things like
Mm,
that, and ended up getting my own deck. And at the same time, I got my first crystal. So it
mm,
just kind of all synced in together. And it's wild because going to the crystal shop for the first time is such a eye-opening experience.
mhm.
It's like you go in there and you come out like, whoa, like I just entered some type of
Yes.
portal or something.
It's the
I love
energy
that.
too. Like,
That's a fact. Yeah.
walking into crystal shops, I could feel like that crazy shift of all of these crystals.
Hmm.
And I was like, there's something to this,
Yeah.
because it would be sometimes an overload of just like, there are too many crystals here. I got to get out of here. But
Hmm.
not in a negative way. It was just like, I'm overcharged right now and I got to get
Yeah.
out of here. So, yes, for
I
sure.
love that. The environment is very nice and it's very like I know the one that we have here, um, it actually was destroyed. We had a tornado a couple
Oh,
months
man.
back and it was destroyed in the tornado and it broke my heart because I just loved
No.
going there and that would
Mm-hmm.
be my getaway. I'd be like, Mom, let's go. I call my mom calls her the lady. So she's like,
Yeah.
let's go see the lady, let's go see her.
Oh,
And we'd
man.
go and she'd have this music playing and
Mm-hmm.
everything's just so
Safe space
soothing.
vibes.
Yes. And it's like that's what I want too. I want to have my own store, more
Mm-hmm.
so like a healing center, school store, like all in one, like an
Same.
all-inclusive space.
Yes.
And it's just the vibe of everything and the people that come in,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like going into a library, like everyone's
Yes.
respecting the space. Everyone's like, okay, we know to come in here and just chill,
Just chill.
relax and no expectations.
Mm-mm.
And I just love looking around, looking at all the different things. She had like these statues. She had a Gaia one specifically that I really want. I still want it.
Mm.
I don't know where I'm gonna put it. That's the thing. Where am I gonna put it at? Because I have literally no
No,
room in my. She's
figure
like,
it out later. You just figure it out later.
yeah, because I got some Egyptian statues on my altar on top of my
Mm-hmm.
bookshelf, and I'm like, I need that. I need it so bad,
Just
and I plan on getting it. But the way shipping works, I'll be so scared
it's
that it's like gonna
yeah,
break and
it's crazy.
uh, so yeah, I love it, and it's just it's an experience. I feel like anybody that hasn't gone to a crystal store, like
They're missing out.
just go
You're
one
missing
time,
out.
just once, just take a little step in, just one step, just
Yeah.
walk in. If you don't like, you can leave. But
Yes, for
I
sure.
know for me, I never want to leave. Like especially when I get to like go to check out, because I best believe I'm going in there and I'm getting something, even if it's one
Yeah.
thing. I'm
And
spending some money.
what I love about crystals for sure, especially if you're in like the physical space. So I'm online and so I do
Mm-hmm.
pop-ups, but like sometimes we think that we chose the crystal, but the crystal was like, girl, you need this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go and you look up the meaning, or you read the meaning in the
Yep.
store, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
so you're just gonna snatch me. All right.
Uh-huh.
Let me just
Yeah.
take this crystal and go.
Yeah,
So
that was me
that's
and carnelian. I got my
mm,
carnelian in my purse, and that's my crystal right there. That is literally the crystal. Like, this is jade right here. I got
yeah, I
jade on
was
me,
looking at that. So pretty.
but that carnelian,
Mm-hmm.
no
Mm-hmm.
words, no words. No, I
Mm-hmm.
literally have nothing to say. Um, but carnelians changed my life completely. My first crystal was amethyst. And when I had got like multiple crystals, but that was the first crystal that I like picked. I was like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting you.
Right.
Um, and then I got like black tourmaline, and I think I also had I got like clear quartz, something like that. Because I went in there, I think I went in there the first time I went, I had a paycheck. So I went in and I was like, yeah, I'm spending all this money, and
Drop
no
in
one's gonna
this.
stop me. No one's
Yes.
stopping me.
Hmm.
I love that though. So what made you want to open up your shop? I know you had said, like, you haven't really seen many people of our complexion, with these stores.
Yeah.
So what was it for
Um,
you that was like, I'm about to do my own thing?
right. I think the biggest thing is a couple of different things. For sure, it was every time I went into a store, ain't no black people there. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was minimal black people, not only owning the store, but also being in these places.
Mm-hmm.
And so even when I would bring it up to people, they're like, what's that? Like, what do these rocks do? Like, and I'm just
Rocks.
like, oh no, we needs to get you free, friend. And I think it's being able to provide information
Mm-hmm.
to the communities that need the most healing. Because let's be honest, the places that have wellness and healing and whatever don't always feel like safe spaces,
Right.
or they're the people who need the least healing because they're not
Mm,
being systemically pushed to their breaking point. And
right.
so my biggest thing is, like, I want us to have a safe space. I want us to be able to find our journey, be it with one crystal, with whatever it is that you find that works for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just being curious about spirituality and seeing where that leads.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because it's changed my life for sure. And so that's my biggest reason, is like,
Yeah.
access, an opening point in a conversation is the point of my crystal shop.
I love that. Y'all go get a crystal. Go now. Go.
And like, if
Right now.
anyone has questions, like, I'm definitely somebody who will be like, you send me a DM, hey, what does this do or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I will give you the breakdown. I have no
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
So I think it's also knowing the crystals and what they do and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's the most important thing too, because I know some people get them for the aesthetics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, this is the thing. Y'all might get them for aesthetics, but they're still going to do what they're supposed to
Do the
do.
thing. They're gonna
So
amplify whatever it
regardless, because
is
I know
that
some
you
people will
need.
get upset or feel offended by that, but I think that these are beautiful elements that we
Mm-hmm.
get to experience. So regardless of if you're using it for healing or you like the way that it looks, just like I like the way this tapestry looks. Like, I'm just
Right.
getting it because I like the way it looks. So I've never been the one to just be like, oh, we are just romanticizing the
No.
crystals. They're beautiful. They're beautiful tools to begin with. So even if your intention is to, okay, this is cute, I want this in my room, it's still going to amplify that energy
Yeah,
regardless.
absolutely. Nothing for me, nothing is a coincidence,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, I mean, I do a lot of research and read way too many things. And so, like, I see your tapestry, it's a yellow tapestry with sunflowers. What
Mm-hmm.
does yellow represent? Confidence.
Right.
It represents, the solar plexus. If you're into, I don't know, Ifa, then it's equated to ocean. Like, there's so many different things that just picking
Right.
out something that you like has its own subconscious
Mm-hmm.
benefit.
Right. That is so powerful because a lot of people don't realize that. And I talked about that in my manifestation episode where, when you have something around, you keep it around, it's going to be picked up by
Mm-hmm.
your mind, and you're going to project that, through your
Mm-hmm.
actions and things like that. So Yeah, I always tell people, get whatever you feel called to. Because people
Right.
will ask me like, what should I get? What tarot card should I
Right.
get?
Same.
What crystal should I? Whatever you feel called to, whether it's the
Right.
color, whether it's the texture, whether it's just the way it looks all together,
Mm-hmm.
it's calling out to you for a reason. So go with
Right.
that. Because people do have like this tendency. I know for me, when I first got my crystals, I kind of already knew like what I was going to get. Like it wasn't like
Mm-hmm.
a, I'm going, this is my first time understanding
Mm-hmm.
crystals. But I know for some people they don't really know what to do. But that would be my best advice. Do you have any advice as someone that works with them more often than me?
Ooh.
Do you have any advice on people that are starting out, maybe looking around, wanting to get crystals, don't know where to look or where to start, or so on and so forth?
For sure. I literally have a starter kit, and so those are usually, your clear quartz, your amethyst, your rose quartz, green aventurine. Not many people know about that starting out, and of course, obsidian or
Mm-hmm.
smoky quartz. But in general, if you are physically there or you go online and you're like, what is this? Right? The thing that catches your eye, that even if you're like, I'm gonna just sleep on it because I got like $150 in my cart, so I'm gonna come back. The one thing or the few things that keep calling your attention and you think about it, and when you see it, it's still like, oh, this, what about this? Is the thing that's what you need. Because then after you sit and you read what it means, like all of my stones, most of them at least, I'm still stocking stuff, have the breakdown of what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But that means that's a general statement, right? Like intuitively, it might do something different for you.
Right.
So it's whatever that you're like, go with that feeling.
Yeah.
Go with the curiosity. If you just want something very just like, oh, I just want to start with something, always get a clear quartz.
Mm-hmm.
You can never go wrong.
Right. Yeah. Because I know for that one, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that's more of like you can kind of base your own intentions with that one.
Yes.
Whereas some of the others may, have their own different,
Hmm.
spiritual qualities or properties. So I love clear quartz. I had that that was my starter kit for sure. That one
Yeah.
I was in there grabbing crystals like it was Black Friday. I was in there
Oh,
like,
I
I'm getting this
know.
one, I'm getting
I
that one,
know the
I'm getting this.
feeling.
I was just going crazy with that because it's really the experience of just walking into that store. It's
Hmm.
different being online shopping and actually
Yeah,
having
it
a
is.
physical store you could go to, because for one, it's
The
the environment.
vibrations. Yeah, it's
Yes,
the
it's so beautiful.
vibrations. And if you go to a physical store and you feel nothing and you're like, I don't feel nothing, and you wait like a minute and nothing comes in, that is not the store for you. Find
Yeah.
another one.
Hmm.
Because that's happened to me before. And I've looked at my friend, I'm like, let's go. Because this is
We gotta get
weird.
out of here.
Like I don't know what this is about.
This might not be for us.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
that's just fine too.
Right. Yeah. Because there's always going to be a store out there for y'all. So for those that are like, if y'all are struggling with that, there's going to be a store out there for you for
Hmm.
sure. Because I didn't know we had one. That was what shocked the hell out of me. Because I live in Kentucky, so crystals and healing, and we have churches. We got about 50,000 churches in
But
my
where there is
city.
a church, there is something spiritual
Facts,
around the
facts.
corner,
Right. So I
because,
remember like looking it up. I was like, crystal near me, because I was like, I just want to
right.
see. And we had a store, and I was like, what? It's like, I thought I was
Yeah,
gonna have to travel out to a different,
I
city
feel
to get
that.
some, but that was like the best moment for me, because that's kind of how I knew things were aligning with me as far as
Hmm.
like where I was in my journey. Um, and even wanting to get my first crystal, and just kind of having my necklace and things like that. So it's one of those
Yeah.
moments where I was like, okay, I don't know what's about to happen, but we about to see.
Well,
And I was
we
like,
about to find
whoa,
out. Yeah,
yes, I love it.
it's just really interesting. And I like that it's become more popular because there's a little bit more access
Right.
to it as well. But usually, most places have a little something.
Hmm. Yeah, I know we have some places in the mall. Now, this is kind of leading me to my next question, because I
Hmm.
have to ask this. Um, but there's a store in our mall that
Mhm.
sells crystals.
Mhm.
But these crystals, personally don't think that they're real. Um,
Uh,
just because when I feel them, I don't feel anything. It just kind of feels like
mhm.
nothing, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
So as someone that works with these very often, how can you tell the difference between a real crystal, something that's more authentic and
Mhm.
raw, and something that's fabricated?
So the biggest thing, there are a couple of crystals that will always be fabricated, like opalite. Usually when it has like a ITE at the end, it's a man-made crystal.
Mm,
Sometimes it still has its benefits, but it's not like plastic or anything.
mhm,
So opalite has like a little bit of a feminine yin restful energy. But if it's like a lot, oh, I take very big offense to this one. So citrine, I actually have one here.
mhm. I got
Citrine
one too.
is not, it looks like this. It's supposed to be clear.
Mhm,
It's supposed to be light yellow. When you see basically something that's like a cluster and it's a dark orange, that's just heated up amethyst.
mm,
It still has its benefits, right? Because it is amethyst, but it's heated up.
mhm.
Fake crystals in general, try to do a scratch test because stones are hard.
Right.
Unless it's like a calcite or a sodalite. Um, those are a little bit softer, so
Yeah.
you don't want to get too crazy. But like if you have a clear quartz and you just put something sharp against it, you're not going to be able to scratch it because it has a hardness scale
Mhm.
that's more than whatever you're going to
Yeah.
use. Right?
Mhm.
What else? Some can't deal with heat.
Mhm.
Like sometimes, like if you put fire to this, it's just really going to get hot. It's not going to melt.
Mm.
Because stones, if you think about it, something that has been solidifying for hundreds of years isn't going to just melt.
Right.
Because you're literally going to the earth's core to check these, get these stones.
Right.
So um I think those are the best tests, try with something sharp, see if it marks or something,
Mhm.
especially if it's a quartz. Quartz, it's almost indestructible unless you drop it or, you know, put it in like hot water for too long or something like that. But
Mhm.
other than that, it should be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. It's good to know that because I don't know. I'm very big on like I'm clairsentient. Well, I have a lot of well, I have all the
You
clairs, but my
I
biggest
call
one
that
is
voyance. I have a friend that's like
ooh,
that and I call it voyance.
olive I love that because I am, but I know my clairsentience is very strong. So when I feel things, I can kind of tell like,
Yeah, if you feel
eh,
nothing,
I'm like,
that's a
nah.
big, big sign.
Yeah. I'm like, this is not producing any type of energy
Mm-mm.
whatsoever.
If it feels dead, then it probably is,
Yeah.
you
That's why I
know.
wanted to ask because there's some people that wouldn't really be able to tell,
Yeah,
especially not being as experienced with crystals or just kind of not having that, intuitive approach to
right.
connecting. So I'm glad
Mm.
that you answered that, and
Wait,
hopefully those that are listening. Oh,
one
go ahead.
more. So, as they do this especially with malachite because malachite is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if it's too cheap, so let's say you buy a bracelet and it's $4, it might not be real. If
Mm-hmm.
it looks too perfect, because malachite doesn't ever look the same. So
Right.
if they have 5 bracelets and all the bracelets, the pattern is the same exact thing, it's man-made.
Okay.
Okay. So
Got it.
just an FYI for that. Because it'll
Yeah.
usually be a little bit more expensive and you'll be like, oh, okay.
Right.
But if it's too perfect, too smooth, um, then you might want to start asking questions.
Okay. That's good to keep in mind. Shit, you're giving me insight. I'm like, okay, I'm taking mental
Yeah.
notes. I'm like, got it. Got it. Um, so I forgot what else I was gonna ask you. Um, but since we're on the subject of, the expenses
Hmm.
and things like that, what are your prices in comparison to maybe some other stores or things like that? Do you feel like, got reasonable prices? Because I'm shopping. I'm shopping
I'm
right now.
like, I have different levels. So like there are
Yeah.
things that if I look at my original crystal collection, I crack up now because I'm like, why did I spend $10 on this little thing? So I
Mm-hmm.
have anywhere from like $4 to like our higher end bigger crystals, which would be like maybe $200, and that's probably one of my highest.
Okay.
I am getting like bigger things, and so
Mm-hmm.
there'll be some higher price points, but
Yeah.
for the most part, unless you're getting something super exclusive, like Larimar is expensive, Malachite is expensive. There's a couple of specimens that are expensive, but
Mm-hmm.
overall, I would say reasonable. I would say pretty reasonable, and
I
you can
love that.
always compare.
Right.
Because I do look around and I'm like, okay, what does everyone have going on?
Mm-hmm.
And all of my prices, for the most part, are angel numbers.
Yeah, because I've always wondered how people do price them. Because I have some crystals that I thought about selling, but I'm like, how would I even price and really put the
Mm-hmm.
value on these crystals? Because a
For
part of me is
sure.
like, this can help someone, but then I'm like, okay, like, so that's why I
It
wanted to
just,
ask, just because I feel like
yeah.
it's one of those things where it's
Pricing is hard
yeah,
because it's easier for me to be reasonable because I don't have a place,
right,
right? Because I don't have to include overhead and
mm-hmm,
leasing and all of
right,
this stuff. But
yeah,
if you're going into a store, remember that they got to pay their mortgage or their rent or their
mm-hmm,
lease or what have you. So sometimes it could be more expensive, or it can be cheaper because they can buy thousands of that thing. Most
mm-hmm,
of my stuff, I have maybe 4 to 5 items, unless it's tumbles.
okay,
So if
yeah,
it's how rare that stone is.
mm-hmm,
Because citrine, you can't get a lot of citrine all of the time.
mm-hmm.
It's like it has seasons. And so citrine is a little bit more expensive because it's not something like clear quartz where you can get all the time.
Okay, I love that. So I'm gonna throw one at you. Top 5
Mm.
crystals.
Oh,
I know
that's
it's
so
probably hard.
hard. Um,
I'll do mine. I'll do mine. So that way
yeah.
I'll give you time to do your thing. So first I gotta give it to carnelian.
Mm-hmm.
That crystal has helped boost my confidence.
Mm,
It has helped me with my sexuality and just
mm,
my sensuality, just kind of being able to connect more with that because I dealt with a lot of hypersexuality and
mm,
that's helped stimulate that for me.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And creativity. So I always associate carnelian with the Empress and Tarot just because it
Oh,
kind of
I love
gives off of that
that.
vibe. And I'm the sacral empress, so it just kind of
Yes.
meshes so well.
Perfection.
Yeah. So second crystal. It's kind of a tie, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of now I'm like, there's no specific order. It's just my top five, but then I'm like, go, you know. So second's gotta go to selenite. I love that
Mm,
crystal so much. I
top
use it
tier.
for Reiki.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I literally have I got two big wands because I remember
Mood.
going to the store and I got one time, and then I went a second time and I got another one just because I love the wands. Like they're so like
I
just
love
nice to hold
selenite.
them and have them, and I just be scanning my body with it,
I
and
love that you
I
do
love
Reiki.
it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, powerful. My third, gotta be careful. And my crystal's probably looking at me like, girl,
They're
what you
like,
about to
huh.
say? What you about to say? um, I'm gonna give it to Jade. Give it to
Okay.
Jade. Jade has
Yeah.
helped me out a lot. I actually got this pendant from New
Mm-hmm.
York.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually my last day, and I just wanted to go to the crystal shop and get some things from there because there was so many botanicas around
Oh
where I lived.
yeah.
New York, I'm gonna just tell you this right now. New York, there's literally unlimited
It's
shops
that
out there,
girl. Yes.
literally unlimited. And my friend Ty was telling me that Capricorn is like New York, and it would
Mm-hmm.
make sense because Capricorn is such a spiritual sign.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense. So there's so many out there. If y'all live in New York and don't even know that y'all have so many
There's so
different
many
crystal
different
spots,
things and
Botanicas.
Botanicas and
Yes, I love it because it's so inclusive. That's why I love New York, because it's so inclusive. Like, so many different cultures
whatever you
are.
practice, you'll find
Yes,
something.
yes. So I
Mm-hmm.
remember going, and I remember getting a money soap. I got this pendant. I think I got another one for my brother, or some bracelets and stuff. So ended up getting a bunch of stuff because I was moving back home. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, I'm gonna just grab some stuff here because we only got one shop where I'm at.
Right.
So I ended up getting a whole bunch of stuff, spent a lot of money, and just kind of kept it. So
I know the
Jade,
feeling.
she's brought in a lot of things for me, prosperity, and just all
Mm-hmm.
of these different things. So love her. Um,
Love Jade.
I'm on for amethyst. Amethyst, I
Mm-hmm.
can't forget amethyst. Amethyst is the spiritual awakening crystal. Like, it's
Yes,
it's
it's like
literally,
your
I'm about to catapult
beginning.
you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You about
So
to go through a whole new
add that
dimension.
to the beginners. Like, it's
Right.
okay to start with amethyst because
Mm-hmm.
amethyst is literally like, you're ready.
Right.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yes. And I don't know. It's yeah, I know a lot of people, they're like, I want to open my third eye and all that. Get amethyst.
Mm-hmm.
Get it. Get it.
Mm-hmm.
Just get it. There you go. And I had a necklace. It was a necklace that I had. And I think I also had bought the crystal too.
Mm.
So I was in my zone at that time. And I tell you, I did not put my cards down for nothing,
Mm.
because I was just like, I was in love with them. So I'm taking my cards to work. I had worked at a call center at the time. So when I'm on break, I'm shuffling my cards, just
Yeah.
shuffling them, doing readings on myself. So yeah, that I just love looking back at that time period, because I can see how far I've come with all of
Mm-hmm.
that. Who would have thought that an amethyst necklace and some cards would have changed my life?
Never know.
But that is the beauty of it all.
Yeah.
It could be one little thing that just shifts your life for the better,
Mm.
or the worse. But it was for the better for me.
I
So,
mean, I
you
think
know,
the worst is only because you're not willing to do the work.
right. That's a
And
big
the
one
thing
too.
about spirit is spirit will give you the opportunity for you to figure out that it's time to do the work, or they
Mhm.
finna drag you until you're ready to do the work because you got no other choice.
Right. Yeah. It's a fact.
And so, just go easily and calmly.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Because I know for me, I didn't necessarily, like, kind of went with the flow. And then I got to a point where I was just kind of like, I love this so much. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it made me happy. It was my source of happiness at the time, but that was at a time where, I'm starting shadow work. So I'm realizing, like, my
Yes.
happiness is rooted in self and not these
Yes.
external things. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to find my balance with that. Cause yeah, I can love my cards and love doing readings, but I also have to make sure that I'm secure with them myself as
Yeah, for
well.
sure. Mm-hmm.
So my
Mm-hmm.
last crystal spot goes to black tourmaline, just because
Yes.
you gotta have your protection.
Mm-hmm.
And that I got a big old I don't even know what to call it, but it's just a big old
Is it
um
like a raw one?
no, it's like I don't know if I can grab it because it's up there, but I can't remember where. I think I got it from. I think I ordered it.
Mm,
It's big though. I don't know. It's
I
not
like
round or
that.
anything. It's like
It's
kind of
like
like,
elongated.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so those are kind of the raw tourmaline, and
Uh-huh.
it'll
Yeah,
almost
that's
look
what
like
it
a
raw.
wand, but it's just like a big old chunk.
Yeah, I have that, and I'm like, I love it. I keep it up on my altar because I got my deities that I
Mm-hmm.
subscribe to. They're up there, so I let them do their thing. I'm like, here, just
Yes.
make sure you
Mm.
watch over me, protect me. But yeah, I gotta throw the protection crystal in there because I'm so
Yes.
big on protection, especially with the work that I do, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
connecting with so many different people daily. Gotta have it. So those are my top five. I
Absolutely.
would love to just throw more honorable mentions into the mix, but I want to
So
hear
many.
your top five.
Whew. Okay, so definitely my tourmaline, black tourmaline, there's actually different colors, but
Hmm.
black tourmaline is the bodyguard. So
Yeah.
I that's top. Like,
Hmm.
if you don't get anything else, always have a black tourmaline.
Hmm.
Selenite also, I have to say, people sleep on selenite, please don't. Please don't.
Please.
Because it literally is cleansing your crystals, yourself, everything. And
Mm-hmm.
so those top two. Um, right now, I mean, I'm obsessed with citrine.
Mm-hmm.
Citrine is one of my favorites. Um, just because like citrine just makes me happy. I like to see it. And also just is a mood booster. So
Mm-hmm.
like if you're feeling low or what have you, have citrine with you or place it where you are while you're chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have to say carnelian, but for different reasons. So I've learned I have Mars prominent in my chart and it's also benefic. And
Mm-hmm.
so what all that mean is when you have a night chart, Mars is the homie that helps you out. And so with carnelian, it's actually been great for protection.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been really interesting. Um, and it just kind of keeps me going.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been carrying that daily. That's what, 4? I think I have to also say fluorite.
Okay, that's a good one.
Fluorite for me is it's kind of like the empath stone.
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of feels a little bit like a personal selenite kind of
Mm.
energy. It's a very refreshing energy, but it's like yours. It doesn't feel like
Yeah.
it's
Feeling
everywhere.
everybody, right.
Right. It kind of feels like, especially after like a long day that you're a little bit frazzled being around so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, fluorite for sure. And then honorable mention, pyrite.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Pyrite is my attract but also deflect
Mm-hmm.
stone.
Right.
So yes.
I
I
love
said
that.
6, but
Hey, crystals are there's so many crystals, y'all.
there's
We
so
ain't even scratched the
many.
surface with our top
No,
with our
not
top
at all.
ones.
And they change. Like it changes
Yeah.
like
Especially depending on
after
the
a
season that
season.
you're in your life.
Yeah.
Like next year I might have the whole new set. So I'm gonna bring you
Yeah,
on. I'm gonna bring you
for
on. We're gonna do it
sure.
again.
Like it looks
Top 5 crystals of
crazy.
the year.
When I buy more things for the shop, I'll realize like whatever I'm going through because I'm like, why do we have all this rose quartz? Like what are we
Mm-hmm.
going through? And so sometimes like, all right, we need to sit down and be like, let's have a discussion. So
We need to reflect.
yeah, for sure.
So shadow work is something that's really big for me. I
Hmm.
am the shadow. I literally call myself. I'm the shadow goddess. Like I literally, that is my shit.
Hmm.
I know a lot of people are very like, "Ooh, shadow work," but I embrace it. I'm so big on self-awareness and reflection and all of that. Do you have a crystal specifically that you would recommend for people that could
Oh.
either be struggling with shadow work? This is a
Mm.
question for me. But is there
Mm.
any like crystal that would be a big help when it comes to making those connections?
Oh, okay. So it all depends on the type of shadow work, right?
Okay.
So like if it's like cord cutting, then you're gonna want merlinite.
Okay. I need to
Okay.
take some
It
notes.
got me through some things.
Where's
Okay. It
my
got me through some things. And when the cord was done, it broke. So
wow.
yes. Um, if you're dealing with like a lot of grief around maybe the expectations of your life,
Mm-hmm.
or just like in general needing some extra care, I would say lepodolite. It has another name, but I can't remember it right now. It's a purplish white stone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a creamy purple stone.
I think I've seen one of those before too.
And it has like a little bit of sheen to it too.
Mm-hmm.
If you're about to like feel that you're doing shadow work for an initiation of sorts, then I would say golden healer.
What was the name of
That
that?
is golden healer. That is a
Golden.
type of
Ooh,
quartz.
golden dealer. Okay.
Yes. And it's basically clear quartz and a golden type of quartz on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really cool. And then the last one I'll say is like if it's an inner self journey type of work, I would say garden quartz.
Garden quartz. I love this information. Thank you so much. This is so beneficial
My pleasure.
because I wouldn't say I'm sleep on crystals because crystals are a big part of my journey. I just don't
There's so
know.
many.
There's literally, I'm like,
Every day I find out there's new ones. I'm like, when did the new
like,
ones drop?
whoa. um, I actually have this book. I don't know. It's right here, actually. Let me go ahead and grab it. Let me turn my camera off. So I don't see me scoot around. Oh God. So I got this book last year. Um, I'm a big crystal person. I want to open my own shop eventually. I wouldn't say right now because I feel
Same.
like I have so much that I have to learn, and that's how
Mm,
I am. Like I don't want to sell anything and be like, "Oh, I don't know what that means. I'm just selling
right.
it." So that's why I'm like, I want to take my time with it because
Mhm.
look at this book. It's thick. You got
It's
all
so
these different
thick.
crystals. So
Mm.
this is an encyclopedia of crystals.
Ooh, I've
Um,
been looking into like books. An
yeah,
encyclopedia is my kind of carrying on because I am from the
and like it's just
generation.
like this is so like
I love that.
it's everything. Like it's one of those things where you don't have to necessarily like
Ordering it
read
right
it,
now.
you know, you don't have to just be like, oh, okay, let me read every single page.
Yeah, you
It's
can
kind of like
refer
for
to it.
yeah, because I know for me, I had a friend that was sending a crystal into like a group chat or whatever. Like, hey,
Mhm.
what crystal is this? I was like, hold on. Let me look through here and
I'm
see.
low key
You
my
know,
own
I'm like,
encyclopedia
let me
by
look through
now.
real quick and make sure.
Yeah, I
I got
feel that, but
it's
that's
really
really
handy.
cool.
Yeah, so I would always recommend this. Anybody that wants to learn more about crystals, get a book about
Yes,
crystals.
yes.
Because I'm big on like just this stuff, period. I have like a book on symbolism, I have a book on
Mm.
dreams, a book on mythology. So
Hmm.
might
When
be
in
fun.
doubt, read for sure. But
Yeah.
also, I would say use that information,
Hmm.
but sit with what it means to you.
Right. Yes.
Because, just like the carnelian, they mean different things for both of
Exactly.
us, right?
Right.
So
Exactly.
it affects, it amplifies, and it shifts as the needs of the person shifts. So, like,
Exactly.
have your information so you kind of have, what you're
Something to
getting
go off
into,
of. Right.
because carnelian sometimes brings extra passion and amplifies that. And you're like,
Hmm.
what's going on? And then you out
Right.
here not knowing.
Yeah, that's such a big one. I'm glad you said that too, because that's how I feel with, you know, dream interpretations,
Yes.
readings, the cards, period. Because like I was
Some cards mean different things when you're
exactly,
doing a different reading. You'll pull the same
exactly.
cards and it'll be completely
And I
different.
always stress that to my students. I'm like, just be mindful because we just finished all the cards. I just went over all the
Mm,
cards in our class, and I was just letting them know, like, we'll go over the cards and I'll kind of help you guys interpret it for yourself, like how you view them, because it kind of applies to everything in life. Some
yeah.
people's experiences aren't gonna be the same as ours.
No.
Like with people, like, oh, stay away from this person. Like this person might be
Right.
good to
And
me, might have
they're
been bad to you,
amazing to somebody else.
yeah. So it's one of those things with crystals, with anything in life, don't ever take it for what it's being shown as or what other
It's
people
not
see it
full
as, because it
gospel.
can mean something completely different for you. So I'm glad you brought that up because I stress that to my
Yeah.
students with the tarot readings. I'm like, the lovers does not always mean you about to meet your soulmate. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely not. I agree.
Love
That's
that.
like Moldavite. Y'all better be
Oh my gosh, that's
careful.
so crazy. I was about to ask you how you felt about that crystal. So I guess this is the opportunity.
I have I have mixed feelings.
Okay.
As much as I enjoy spirituality being more accessible, I also don't enjoy things getting too popular
Okay.
because then it's like crystal of the week and this does this. Like maybe Moldavite is going to heal somebody's heart, but are you ready to do the shadow work for it?
Right.
right? Like nothing, especially in spirituality, just drops in your lap. You've had to have done the work
Right.
to get your blessing. And
Yeah.
so, I don't have it in my store because I'm not spending $150 for a little piece.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? If
right.
you want to do heart work, there are so many other stones
Exactly.
versus moldavite. You have to choose stones not because they're popular, but because they call to you.
Right.
You
And
know?
knowing what you
So
need in that moment too. Because
yeah.
I saw
Because
someone on TikTok. I don't know if she was trolling or what, because it's one of those things where with social media, you don't
you
really
never know.
know. But she was saying like it was just, I don't know. It was a series basically of her
Uh,
somebody dying, or she done got in a heartbreak, her car done messed up, this happened. Well, she had Moldavite, and I was just kind of like,
is it the stone though?
that's what I'm saying. Because a lot
You
of people
know?
will take it on as, oh, this crystal did this, or this crystal did that, or this made me and my
Mm,
person break up. But it's like maybe that was meant to happen, regardless of the crystal being
yeah.
involved.
Crystals amplify what is already needed or coming. And so
Mm,
if, you know, during my spiritual journey, I had all kind of craziness
right.
happening, right? It wasn't just because I've had crystals, it was because, like I said, when you don't listen to your spirit guides or you're not mindful and you're not paying attention, they will drag you.
Yeah. So important. So, so,
So
so
just be
important.
careful because some things are not in alignment and that's why they go wrong because you're
Right.
not supposed to be there. I
Exactly.
don't want nobody dying around me, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's the crystal. I think it's just what are your intentions behind getting this thing?
Mm-hmm.
And be
Yeah.
real with yourself because
Exactly.
these are things from the earth. They
Mm-hmm.
have their own frequencies and their own vibrations as you are from the earth and likewise. And so be mindful of that. You are already the power that exists.
Right.
These are all tools.
Exactly. Yes. Speak, speak. But yeah, with Moldavite, that was one of those crystals where I don't
I'm
know,
like
it was such a
crazy.
trend. It was such a trend to have Moldavite. Everyone's talking about it, everyone's stitching TikTok
It went
videos.
crazy.
It was a time for me where I was just kind of like, there are
Right.
so
I
many
looked
other
at it and I was like,
crystals.
mm-mm,
There are so many
mm-mm.
crystals. I'm like, amethyst did it for me. I didn't need
Right.
Moldavite, and for you to, like, you just talked about how expensive it was. Like, there
It
are
wasn't
cheaper
expensive
crystals.
originally
Mm-hmm.
until it blew up. And then I'm like, this don't make no
So
sense.
yeah.
And it's also like, it's the shadow work conversation, right? If you're
Mm-hmm.
not ready to do the shadow work, that might be something that will be like, well, it's time now.
Right. Yeah.
And shadow work is not a walk in the park.
It's not
So,
at all.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
Yeah. I
I
was
think
like,
watermelon
we
tourmaline
are,
did that for me.
ooh, watermelon terminal. See, let
It's
me,
so
I
fancy.
got my
It's so
little notes
hard to
right here.
get. It's so hard to get. Um, but like sometimes they sell it in a slice especially if you're like at a gem show or like a upper, a bougie crystal boutique.
Mm-hmm.
That one is, at least for me, I can only say for me, is one where I realized that I had a full blockage in my
Mm-hmm.
heart
Mm,
and it literally gave me like pain
yeah.
to see it. And I was like, oh, I gotta work with this.
Right.
So like if you want to do heart shadow work, then
Yeah. I love that.
watermelon tourmaline is for you.
Uh-huh. I don't know why I'm hearing that watermelon sugar high. Like, I don't know why that song came to mind. But I guess because it's got watermelon in it. But
Yeah,
I
because it's pink and green.
wanna
It's a
look, I
it's a
wanna look
really
into that.
nice stone. It's really, really pretty.
They are so beautiful. It's one of those things where I just admire them. I'm just like, you are so beautiful. I bet
Mm-hmm.
they're saying that back to me too. They're like, you're so beautiful, you know?
Yes.
It's such a good feeling being able to connect with people that understand, you know, all of this, because I can't go outside and be like, hey y'all, I got some crystals. They be like, what the hell is a crystal?
Right. Some
Keep
people
those
like
crystals
when
away
I
from
do
me.
when I do pop-ups, some people are like, I don't know about this table.
Yeah.
And they'll like go all the way around, because sometimes that happened to me in like my last pop-up where it's like I had my
Mhm.
alt girl section where it's like all black everything and all
Yeah.
this. And then I had like the Barbie girl aesthetic, right? And just studying how people are like, I ain't
Mhm.
gonna
Right.
mess with this corner. It's
That's really
like,
smart.
you
It's a really
know,
smart approach to take because I did. Whoa. Okay, Kira. um, but I did one once just to try it out because I'm the
hmm
type where I used to be super shy, but now since I'm a business owner, I'm like, fuck being
yeah, you have no
shy. Hey,
choice.
hey everybody, I'm Ashanti, so it's like I get turned up and I just
hmm
remember paying for a booth and I ended up setting up. And it was one of those things where I live in a small town where people don't necessarily care for what I do, but
hmm
there are people that do. There are
You'll
people that
always
do.
you
You'll
always will find somebody who
right.
will find
So
you.
for me, I was watching people look because I had like
Yeah,
a sign
I
behind me that
observe.
said $5 psychic readings. So a lot of
Ah,
people would just no one would care to come over. I was selling candles. I had my singing bowls out.
right.
Um, and it was just like ugh. So it's good
I
to
don't know
know
about
that
this.
I'm not necessarily alone in what I love
No,
because
absolutely
it's
not.
such a relief. Granted, you're not here with me right now, but even
Right.
still, even being at a distance, it's just a level of comfort you feel when you're talking and connecting with someone that gets it. They get
Yeah,
it.
it
Yeah.
be funny sometimes. I'm just like, you might need one of them stones on the side, but I ain't gonna say nothing. But
So,
it's also the capacity people
right.
have.
Right. So as a crystal healer, I'm gonna call you just because. What crystal would you recommend for me?
Hmm. Oh, I love this question. Let me think.
Yeah. Let's make it fun because I might get it. And maybe you have it on your shop and I can
Hmm.
purchase.
Hmm. I think green stones right now
Okay.
for you. And green stones, it's not so there's a couple of things to green, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a luxurious color. It is lavish. I think of like Venus.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think of like the watermelon tourmaline that I was saying, right?
Right.
When the heart chakra is green, it eventually turns into pink. And
Mm.
so it's the before the pink. And when your heart is good, your money's good.
Facts.
And so
That's a
that's
fact.
why I'm like green aventurine, green strawberry. I really, really like green strawberry. Um, and I would also say a golden stone, either
Mm-hmm.
sandstone or
Write that down.
tiger's eye. So it's just giving
Ooh,
it's giving success. It's
I
giving
love
heart
that.
healing, but also like money chakra amplification.
I love that. Well, you gonna have an order coming in soon. So just be on the lookout. So how's your
You're
shipping process?
here.
Is it like 3 to 5 business days? Is it like 2 weeks? Because I'm over here like,
Saturdays. I usually ship out Saturdays unless like
okay,
something happened.
right.
But usually like if it's, Wednesday, you'll probably get the notification on Saturday.
Hmm.
Worst case scenario is like the following Saturday. But knowing me, I'll be like, man, they waiting for this, so let me just send it out.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
always
try
me
to send
too.
it as soon as possible for
I'm
sure.
like,
The
I hate
most a
people waiting
week.
on me. I hate when people have to wait on me. Like, I just,
I
I don't
don't
know.
like it. I don't like it. I'm just like, look, I'm gonna
Because then
just
it's the emails and it's the hey, just checking in on my order. And I'm like, I promise it's
Yeah, I
coming. I
try
promise.
not to. Yeah, I try not to because when I
Uh,
order, I be ready for it to arrive.
Literally,
So
that's my problem.
I try to
And
keep
I
that
know
same
that's why I try
energy.
to keep, yeah, that's why I try to keep people like, okay, you order this, you good. It's all good. You ain't gonna worry about nothing.
For sure.
That's why I love what is it, Pirate Ship? I use that so I can
I
like
love I love pirate
I
ship.
love Pirate Ship. I'll get that code and I immediately put it in and I'm like, there y'all go. There y'all go.
I love
It's
that I
there.
can just like Shopify allows you to just transfer all the information
Yeah.
in and it makes things just so much
Oh
easier.
yes. I love that. I love that. So, I appreciate you giving me some suggestions because
Likewise.
I don't know. It's been a while since I like have bought some
Mm,
crystals because usually I'll go to the store
you
and get
ball
them,
out.
but
Mm.
I don't know
Mm.
when she's opening back up. I think they're
Oh
still doing
man,
some remodeling. So hopefully
renovations and
soon
stuff.
so I can walk in there and just hear that music. I swear, because she got like a little thing on the door where you open it and it makes like
Uh,
a little
uh-huh.
so I can hear it, I could see it, but I just
Goals.
want to experience it again. I miss it.
Goals, I know.
But for now, I'm like, I'm gonna get a couple of crystals because it's hard, honestly. And this is just me speaking as someone that loves. I'm a big collector.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's sometimes hard finding online stores that
Yeah,
sell genuine crystals. So glad that we've connected. I know Rose
absolutely.
Gold Shay also, she was on my podcast recently, but she
Mm-hmm.
sells crystals and stuff too.
I'm
So
following
I'll be
crystal
shopping with y'all. Be
people.
shopping with y'all.
I'm with
Um,
it.
but in regards to that, it's very hard to find authentic crystals online because
Hmm.
you do got people that are selling
Selling
fake shit, or
whatever.
just
Yeah,
selling,
that's
or ain't even really
unfortunate.
selling nothing. They lying. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes
That's
it's really
crazy.
hard. Um, I forgot what it was that I had ordered, or maybe I was gonna order it, but it was from Etsy, and
Mm.
I was like, I don't know. So the spirit's kind of telling me like, no.
It's too
Um,
much. There's so much on Etsy that you just have no idea. That happened
yeah,
to my mom, and she's like, "Oh, I wanted
yeah.
to get some of these." I'm like, "This ain't real, girl."
Yeah, because I think that they had like a tower, like a black terminal. Yeah, I think I
Mhm.
actually did order it. It's up there. It was actually real, but it was still that fear of like, well, what if it ain't?
I don't
What
know.
if it ain't
Yeah.
real? So I love that. Anything else you want to add as far as the crystal healing? What does that consist of? Is it
Mm.
a service that you offer?
Absolutely. So I love, love, love like your last question. So like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people will be like, look, I'm kind of looking for this vibe, right?
Yeah.
And so I love curating a box just for you. So
Ooh.
that's something that I love doing. That's a curation service. And I also have like boxes. So if you want like a
Mm-hmm.
mystery box or you want like a big box of just curated crystals, I do that as well. So
Oh
like the
yeah. I'm
really
gonna look
big
at
box,
that.
I'm telling you, it's like this and it's deep. It's not, I don't do no shallow stuff, you know.
So you gonna
So
get your money's worth with her. Okay,
yeah,
tap
like
in.
so I definitely love curating boxes. And so if you can't even find the service, hit
Hmm.
me up. I'm pretty responsive if you want to DM me or you have any questions, or if you looking for some kind of specific crystal and I don't have it,
Hmm.
I can also let you know if I could find it for you.
Right.
You know, if it's something real rare, it might be a little bit harder. I can try,
Hmm.
but I can also source a crystal for
Yeah,
you.
and I'm sure you could also find like an alternative,
Mm-hmm.
as well. So that's so great. I just love that crystals are so like multifaceted, and
So much.
they're not limited to any specific thing. Like some
Absolutely
people
not.
like rose quartz is love and self love, and but it could be so many other things in regards
It's
to
such, yeah.
So I
It's a
love that.
lot. Everything is a lot. And so I also do astrology and tarot readings as well.
Yes.
But I usually let folks who find me for those,
Hmm.
and whoever is ready for like their chart reading and all that
Right.
stuff, I'm with it.
Right. Yeah, so I with that's actually really funny that you brought that up because I remember when I was younger and I got my ears pierced for the first time, they had asked for my birthday so that they can like
Hmm.
pick out like,
Your
my
birthstone.
yeah. And I could say that like now I could be like, oh, that's the first time I was introduced, but I didn't really think about that until I started to, actually get older and actually connect
Hmm.
more. So it's so cool
Just
that
gives me an
each
idea.
zodiac sign, I'm glad that's what I'm here to do. Um, but with that, like the zodiac signs have their own gemstone, which I
Hmm.
think is just so dope because we have so many different placements. So for me,
Yes.
I am kind of really big on my Scorpio Mars right now.
Hmm.
So I'm like, what crystal could I use? Because I don't know the zodiac gemstones, but
Mm.
I just know like there's a stone for that,
If it's Scorpio, isn't this one? I think it's citrine. I could be wrong.
Ooh,
I don't know the
I
birthstones
kind of
by
want to look it
heart.
up. I'm such a nerd. I'm like, I want to know the truth.
It's like a orange, it's like a yellowish orangey if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know the birthstones.
um, it says opal or tourmaline,
See, I was wrong
but
as
I'm not really
hell.
sure. I
I
mean,
was
but they have
wrong as
different
hell.
ones
I
on
might
here,
be thinking
so
about somebody else.
they got all these different ones. So I'm like, I don't necessarily know. And I think they got
But
some based off the
tourmaline
months
is
too.
good. That makes sense. I
And
would
it
say
actually says here
carnelian as
citrine,
well.
so
There
I
you
guess it's just
go.
a mixture
See,
of different ones.
it probably is a few of them, but
Mm-hmm.
I just think Mars, you're gonna want red, yellow, sacral, and root, right? So that's
Yeah.
your black, your red, your orange, and maybe a little bit of yellow.
Right. Okay. I love that. I love that. Anything else that you want to talk about today? Um, just wanted to open
I
out the space for
know.
you if you do have anything you want to, plug in, maybe your socials or just anything in general.
Yeah. You can find me at Astrolysix across the board, Facebook,
Okay.
and you could I'll show you the spelling and all that stuff.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But that's Instagram, TikTok, everybody except like Twitter.
Yeah.
And I'm open, I'm here. I like conversations about crystals, and so hit me up. And that's that. Like, just also remember you are the magic that you are looking for, and these are just tools.
Ashe, Ashe, that is a word. That is the word. Thank you so much for coming
Thank you.
on. I appreciate you. This has been a really great conversation.
It's been a pleasure.
I'm about to look up these crystals now.
Holla
I
at
know I'm
me.
on a budget, so I'm gonna get to shopping when I
And there's a
get in that
wish
space.
list. You can also set up a wish
Ooh,
list.
I love
I'm
wish lists. I'm
continually
big on wish lists.
I'm working continually on making my website better. And so,
Yeah, I love that.
stay tuned. But I know I
Yeah.
added the wish list function. So I was like, this
Oh,
is
that's
nice.
exciting. I'm so ready to check out your website actually, because I didn't like looking. I'm very big on like I don't want to know anything about y'all until after,
Mm,
just
hmm.
because I want to get to know y'all on the podcast and then also afterwards, like
Yeah, for
continuing the
sure.
process. I was like, I didn't want to look. No, I want everything to be a
I
surprise to
love
me.
that. I love that.
But
It
yes,
has
I will
been a
let you
pleasure.
go and enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you so
Thank
much again. This was
you.
a great
You
conversation. I can't
too.
wait to share little clips on Instagram and stuff.
Thank you so
But
much.
thank you. You take care, and I will
Have
see
a
you
good
next
night.
time. You
All
too.
right. You too.
Peace.